at Bay Lake, which it is behind me. You can't see it. So as I'll get into, it is North Dakota after dark, and I have to admit I'm in Minnesota. So if you smell, pot taxes and communism, that's me.
That's just you.
That's just me. The rest of my cohorts are in Minnesota, which is great. So we're going on the lake tomorrow, so I can give a full report next week. But for now, you'll just have to be content with the fact that I am in fact here.
Okay, well,
Allegedly.
Yeah,
I had
allegedly.
to inquire so I can show up there because as we established on your anniversary, I just follow you and Amanda around. So,
Right, which is perfect. Kelly, I have to tell you, I was so excited to meet your mom.
oh, she was excited to meet you guys
I was
too.
hoping she was going to pull up a chair, but next time.
Next time we'll
Yes,
get her.
and I think to be clear, my wife and I are going to take Matt out
Yes,
on his
he's
own.
very excited about this.
Yeah, yeah. Had a
Yeah.
long text conversation with Matt today that abruptly ended what I think I made fun of coaches, so now I'm going to have to come back. So to come back for Matt, I am drinking a very weird beer. It's
Okay,
not.
you're
It's called Cashmere, which is probably Corey's thing.
I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan, but some of their songs are okay.
I'm glad you made that reference because I was just
Wrong
about to do it.
Cashmere, Corey.
I'll be here all night, folks.
Save the geopolitics for the second hour.
Great.
Well, we are on the dog days of summer. There's really not a ton of hockey to talk about.
Really?
UND committed a 17-year-old from Fargo. If anybody wants to say anything nice, go for it.
I did see that. But it's funny because I was talking to Matt and I'm like, I don't remember a lot about him, and he's like, it's because he left.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm like, because when they said Fargo Shanley player, I'm thinking O'Neill from Shanley. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
like I get the privilege of watching a lot of high school hockey, and I'm thinking that's not ringing a bell. He's like, because he played for 1 year,
yeah. I
and then
think
he
as an
left.
eighth grader, if I remember
Yeah,
right, and then left in the development program and has been back and forth. So, yeah. So I have some. I guess Corey, you might want to plug your ears for this part, but I have friends that are involved with Fargo baseball, and
Sorry.
got to know the young man a little bit through these guys, because also a baseball player in Fargo, or I guess former baseball player in Fargo.
Sorry, it's a Pavlov reaction every time you say
Yeah.
those two words together.
Fargo
Sorry.
baseball.
So it makes
Cringe.
you feel better. My Fargo baseball connection is through a former assistant coach of mine at the Grand Forks youth hockey level.
Doesn't make me feel better, no.
Okay, fair enough.
That
I
doesn't.
also have a Fargo baseball hat, so I'm gonna go for Halloween as Corey's nemesis.
It's almost better than my costume. I have a UND hockey coach's jumpsuit.
Oh yeah,
So I go every Halloween as Jason Allman.
I like it.
like one piece jumpsuit. What are we talking
No,
about?
no, we're talking about the coach's Adidas pants and jacket matching.
Oh, okay.
They were
Track.
gifted. Yeah, tracksuit. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They were gifted to me by a certain Jason Ulmer, and then to repay his kindness, I turned it into a joke about him.
I think that's fair. As one of I think two Saskatchewan people in town, I feel I sort of have to stick up for him a little bit.
You should.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. So,
Though.
pardon me?
I love anytime UND takes North Dakota hockey boys. I love it.
I think that's
I'm
right. That's a good point. Yeah.
completely on board with it. I love it. I love when they keep local kids. It makes it a lot of fun. And I don't want to brag to you guys, but here I go. I now have a family member, a part of the UND hockey administration. My niece Bailey, who is a wonderful young woman. She's 27 years old, who has Down syndrome. Bailey has been taken on. She even gets like a suit, like a track suit,
No kidding.
as an assistant manager. And she had a meeting with the coaches, and she got to tour the facility, and she got a schedule for the days that she comes to help out, and she's over the moon. So
That's
like
tremendous.
UND hockey just shot up hugely in my book, because I just think that's really wonderful. And I hope that not just for Bailey, but I hope that they continue to give this opportunity to other special needs individuals. I think it's so cool. I love it. I love anytime organizations like that do special things for special people.
I love, and I think that really answers one of the questions I had for you today, Kelly, which is why won't Bailey follow us back on Instagram? She's big timing us now.
Listen, she went to prom with Brock Besser. It takes a little bit more for a follow back from her. I will pressure her. But she knows people in high places. She is way better than me. She's the only person who can say that she went to prom with Brock Besser. He didn't go to his own prom.
Right.
And he took Bailey to her prom.
To be fair, who wants to go to prom in Burnsville? Right?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I spent the weekend in Burnsville this last weekend, and I wholeheartedly endorse your statement, Kyle.
Now Corey's big timing us.
You said you had no hockey to talk about. That's all I did this weekend. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Corey, I'm going to give a real brief shout out to your youngest son, Parker.
Uh-oh. What did you do this time?
No, this is all Parker. I think you'll be impressed. I was tasked with refereeing a Pee-wee hockey scrimmage.
Ouch.
Yeah. Kelly's son scored the series-winning goal after chirping me all the way down that he was tripped. Like, just concentrate on the puck, young man.
Did come home outraged over the lack of ball.
I said, hey, I understand that's what you call a Riverside hello. Go back to and that did not move the needle with that young man. No. It was a very hotly contested game. There was an alleged goal it was a wraparound attempt. There was a scrum of kids on top of my boy. Puck was on the line. I couldn't see it because as the dad started to filter in, I was getting suggestions from the bench. I'm like, hey, a lot of skates around, guys. Get on the ice. Some thought it was in, some thought it wasn't. Grabbed Parker, took him to the corner. I'm like, hey, you need to tell me straight up. He goes, it wasn't all the way in. So which reminds me sort of Corey's, what I heard about Corey's prom.
Oh, here we go.
Well, it's a technicality.
Yeah.
What? And
no,
what?
You can't use those statements together, Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sort of a shout out to I appreciated Parker's honesty. Though to be fair, it was his team that would have been scored on. So
to be fair.
But I think if anybody on the ice would have given me the straight dope, it was him.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's a group of bold-faced liars that you were coaching right there. That level of outrage that those boys muster when they feel wrong, and they'll go down with the ship on it as well. Like they will not, like there's not, like you have to usually go, Carter, look at Carter Bina and go, Carter, what actually happened? Because he'll usually cop to it. But don't look to my kid. My kid will stick with it all the way for his team.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Corey, go ahead.
I was going to say that breaks one of my other billion cardinal rules, which is never trust a Bina. I mean, Cassidy's okay, but the name wasn't originally hers. So never trust a Bina and you'll be to it.
Yeah, that's
although I do like Aaron Bina. He's a nice guy.
That Aaron is especially nice.
Good dude.
Aaron and Kristen are both good people.
Good dudes.
That Tony guy mostly that 50-50 on.
We did ask him to be a guest.
Oh,
so,
we will.
Yeah.
No,
and I guess that's another thing I should mention. We have an eclectic group of guests stacking up well into the fall. It's all over the map. It's a really good mix of people we know and people we don't know. So really just, I guess as a warning and a treat for our 5 or 6 of listeners, you'll be pleasantly surprised come fall and early winter when we roll this collection of guests out. Now, one final, Dale's. Corey is one of 2 people in Grand Forks that like Dale's. The other one is our good friend and former guest, Matt.
Dale's Pale Ale.
You know, Kyle, after last week's debacle of the worst, and I will say Natty Daddy's might be the worst beer I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I've drank some swill in my time.
Sure.
But
Dale's,
Kyle dropped off a Dale at my place, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought it would be nearly the poison attempt on my life that the Natty Daddy was. But if you like hoppy beers, this is a very solid beer.
Yeah.
So,
And to break the
Corey
chain of
approved.
custody, I had my 8-year-old take that over rather than me.
For the record, you've now just agreed on a, you've created video evidence of your 8-year-old carrying me a beer.
Again,
Which
I'm
in
not
North
licensed
Dakota
in
is
North
fine.
Dakota. I think we've been through this. And also I'm an immigrant to the country. I'm not familiar with the vagaries
Not
of
well versed in the law.
right?
No.
Diplomatic community. I'm new to the country. I'll just go home. You name it. You let me know
If
what
you
excuse
watch,
you have to use.
Kyle, if you've watched our movies, you know what we do to people with diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, I watched Rambo 3 the other day.
Canada question, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I didn't Google it because I thought I would Kyle Coulter it instead. So this morning, I'm at Caribou.
Yeah.
And I'm behind a Saskatchewan license plate.
Oh, great. The only good
And
part of Canada.
underneath, the motto said Land of the Living Skies.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is a much derided new slogan for Saskatchewan. Call it 10 to 12 years old. Very unpopular at its inception. As I understand it, very unpopular now. A lot better named. It was Canada's breadbasket, the land of 10,000 potholes. Hey, welcome to the third world, whatever you want to use, but there are so many better slogans than Land of Living Skies.
What are living skies? That's what I was
Well, I think it
getting
refers
into.
to the Northern Lights.
Okay.
So Saskatchewan also has that North Dakota-esque weather where it's different every half hour. A bell chimes, you get new weather. So
in rolls the new weather.
Right, whatever you want to hang your hat on, that's what they're getting at. So
okay, all right. I wondered, and I thought I'm gonna ask Kyle. I think he might know the answer to this question.
Yeah. And I took a group me vote, and you are going to be the only mom allowed on the Saskatchewan dads and sons trip.
Okay.
Just to parlay those chips into more money.
Absolutely. I won't see a lot of you guys. But right. I mean, that's.
I have some former hockey teammate bantam teammates, I think, that are members of the government currently, so I can introduce you to them. You can get direct from the source answer on Land of Living Skies. Yes, Corey. You're invited, Corey.
Well, that I expect the fake invite where you tell me to meet at a certain place and no one shows up. But I've got it. Saskatchewan. You couldn't afford Minot, so come here.
That's right. Lower your standards because we don't want to lower ours.
Exactly.
Saskatchewan, come see our people in Minot.
Saskatchewan. Welcome to a place where it's better than the people of Walmart.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Also, you're still way too many syllables in Saskatchewan.
No. Oh, that's right.
Just
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and Kelly, you're doing okay, but Corey, he's hitting every letter.
Sacagawea-Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Sacagawea-Saskatchewan.
Nailed it. Yeah. Our guest has joined us in the waiting room. We're very pleased today to welcome Andrea Reynolds from Desiree Drive. Not the good side, but the other side of Desiree Drive. Andrea will join us to talk about hockey mom stuff. And Andrea has a young man that has played his entire career in the Grand Forks youth hockey system and is about to depart for junior hockey. So I want to get our thoughts on that and whether or not she's willing to join, let's call it the production crew of Mom Dorm. Dorm Moms? What did we call our movie?
Mom Dorm. Yeah.
Mom Dorm.
Yeah, the other way around sounds altogether too adult movie-esque.
Right.
Well, either way, that's what we're going for. But that is in development, both the actual dorm and the film. So let's welcome Andrea to the show. Yeah, here we go.
Welcome, Andrea Reynolds, hockey mom and certified MILF.
On time and early. She can live in Dad House next summer.
That's right.
Dad House is just a thing, not a movie.
Just that nobody wants to watch Dad House.
Yeah.
Not nearly as sexy as Mom Dorm.
Well, I mean, you got to tell me which dads are there. Maybe Matt when he had the long hair. Then I'm in.
It's so far it's me, Matt, and Tom Bach. You're welcome to join. Our only thing is we're going to play golf and we're going to show up to everything on time.
Hard pass.
Okay. Is it the on time part, Corey?
Yeah, it's it may be. I'm worried about the attire. I don't think I'll fit in.
Corey, do you golf?
No, God no. In fact, while we're killing some time as our guest joins us, we're about to take the. Oh,
Andrea,
Hey, Andrea.
welcome Andrea to the show.
Thank you.
You are our third guest,
Thanks.
our first lady.
Okay, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
wow. Yeah, we got to work on that. That's way too polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get it after a few minutes.
You'll get the feel.
Andrea, we're
Read the
waiting
room.
for you to do our favorite segment of the show, which is what's everybody drinking tonight?
Well, I'm drinking water.
What?
I know,
Mom
but
water?
not even mom water. The problem that I have is tomorrow is girls golf.
You already lost.
Yeah.
You're giving your liver an off day before it has to do some serious work.
Yep.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Plus, I just got home from a 8-day vacation where I had to retrain myself not to drink every evening.
Yeah.
Or
I noticed
by noon.
Get real comfortable with day drinking.
Real tough time for Kyle. Went out on the deck every night, rocked on my little rocking chair. Nobody came over.
No Reynolds.
I know.
No Reynolds.
I know.
Also didn't have my
sorry.
lawn darts for 8 days.
I know. We had a great time with them, though. Thank
Good.
you.
I'm glad to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little note from my lawn darts or like a Skype call, but
We were hoping to remember to buy you a postcard, and I was in Cass Lake 1,700 times, but
no
I
postcard.
never remembered.
That's
No, I am sorry. We dropped the ball, Kyle. That was
Okay.
Andrew, if you would have went to the casino gift shop, I bet you would have found a postcard. Okay, casino gift shops are absolute buried treasure. Okay, you want a license plate frame? You got it. You want dice shaped salt and pepper shakers? Have we got a deal for you? Okay, so you would have found a postcard.
well, the next time I'm in Cass Lake, I'm absolutely heading for the gift shop.
Good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep. You're exactly right. I should have.
Hey,
What a rookie move.
it's okay. We're happy to have you back on Desiree, Andrea.
Yep.
Okay, so I said I'm drinking a weird beer, Andrea.
I see that.
Yes, not Busch Light. You're drinking water. Corey's drinking a Dale's, and last but not least, Kelly.
I'm back on the
Yeah.
canned wine, like a classy broad.
Is that
Yeah.
the Pinot Noir or Moscato?
It's Moscato because Pinot Noir is for classy people and Moscato is for trashy people. So that's right in my wheelhouse.
Andrea, there's one of those in my garage fridge if you need it. A Moscato, top shelf,
Oh.
where all the classy stuff is kept.
It's like
Wow.
alcoholic white grape juice. So yeah.
Do the right
Yeah.
thing, Andrea. Send your husband for booze. Do it.
He knows the code.
Yeah. He
He's
can hear
not
me.
even- They can't hear me. I'm in my office and no one can hear me. No one's even paying attention.
Wait a minute, this is your office?
This is my home office. This
And
is
you
where
let your husband put deer up in your you are a wonderful woman. I
I
have
didn't-
told Matt a deer head better not cross the threshold of that household. That is garage territory, and I will not allow it. Like, no,
Well-
it won't cross the threshold.
I had my choice. It was either I tried the garage, I pushed for the garage. No, it was either living room or office.
Wise choice.
And I was like,
You made the
well,
right choice.
office.
Oh, those will look great in the office.
There's more. There's 4 more on this side.
Oh, no,
I-
I didn't have a choice. I had to give on this.
that's
Andrea,
true,
you know,
though. You
I
live with a
don't-
lot of
Look-
boys like I do.
I don't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
problem with the deer, Andrea. What I have a problem with is the fact that each single deer in that wall is giving me the 2 a.m. bar closing eyes. Like they're just looking at your soul saying, it's late. It's probably time we should go home.
Yeah.
No,
Do you have any
if you
Dales at
look
home?
really close, if you look really close, one of them is smiling. I'm not sure which one it is. We call him Smiley. Shane, that was his first attempt at stuffing a deer.
Shane
And
does taxidermy, and we've never known this.
oh yeah.
Oh damn!
And I just learned this. This is just in. One of these deer also has the ears on the wrong way.
Don't look close.
So
It's too
we
bad
are
this is
looking
an
for our
audio
second
recording.
sponsor, Andrea. So if Shane's Taxidermy and other stuff wants to jump
That's
in on
right.
that section.
Yeah, fun fact, I also know how to do taxidermy.
Shane and Andrea's Taxidermy and other stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
we-
really participate, but I know.
That's like your guys' sexy time is like
Putting on an
reincarnating dead
apron,
animals. I get
you
it.
know.
That's sexy. I
Wait,
understand.
With a
Who can resist?
scalpel, scraping off parts and shit.
Who
Listen,
can resist?
you guys could have a TikTok page and be successful because I've seen there's taxidermy TikTok, and there's also now, here's a new one, freeze drying your pet TikTok. There's a market. If you want to pay, your dog dies or your cat dies, they will freeze dry it so you can keep it forever. It's a real thing.
Corey, looks like you have a question.
Yeah, can we work your business tagline as Shane and Andrea taxidermy? We'll stuff it, but while you watch.
We'll stuff it while you watch. Had that sexy.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
Yeah.
definitely use
This
that.
stuff writes itself.
It does. It really does. Your whole law degree was a waste, right?
It really-
It was
Hey, join the club.
Alleged logic.
allegedly. You did that for you made your parents proud, but you
Yeah.
go back for marketing. Okay.
They knew who I
Pursue
was.
your passion.
Speaking of marketing, Andrea, again, we're really pleased you've joined us today. We have a number of things to talk about. We're gonna try and ease you into it.
Yep.
Kelly has been so far the sole person on the show that's able to relay to us a lot of stuff related to Mom Island and what happens with the moms on hockey trips. Now, the real pressing question that I have for you to start with is I need you on the spot to rank the 4 flavors of mom water, worst to first.
Okay. Karen is by far the worst.
Understood.
Agreed. Agreed.
Uh,
Which is
um,
fitting.
Yeah, she doesn't float my boat. But then Julie is pretty good. And I don't really remember any other one except for
Linda.
Linda. I love Linda.
Linda's
There's also a
freaking good.
Sandy.
Sandy's my favorite. I know
Okay.
Sandy. But sometimes I'm so excited to, crack one open and stick her in the old koozie. I don't even look at the name.
I wonder who would pick these names. I'm kind of jealous. I would have liked to have been involved. Like I would have had a Janice for sure. I would have probably a Barbara.
Barb, absolutely.
Yeah, Barb's a
Excellent
great
name.
mom name.
So I don't mean to interrupt, but that was actually my follow-up question. Is if you could rename the 4 mom waters, I need to hear from both of you. Kelly, I'll let you go first this time.
Okay, Janice and Barb.
Janice and Barb.
Trying to think of other name.
Ramona.
Deborah.
Deborah.
Lots of
You get-
moms
you gotta
named
pick one.
Deborah.
I think Ramona would be a good one.
Ramona's nice.
That seems very exotic.
Classy. And I'm trying to think of
Dawn.
John, lots of Dons. There, yep. And trying to think of other names that were like common mom names growing up. Oh, I might go with Pamela. That's my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I might go with the Pamela. Pam. That's a mom name.
Corey, same question.
Well, I think don't you need a Dorothy? There's a
Dorothy.
Dorothy or Dot?
Maybe a Carol.
Carol's a really
Yeah.
good one.
Carol's
Carol's
a good
such
mom
a
one.
mom name.
Yeah,
Do
we
we
missed
have
Carol.
a Janet
Yeah.
in there?
Janet.
Janet?
Janet. Yep, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
I can play these games too. Elizabeth? No.
But
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth is kind of timeless because I know
Yeah,
like
it's
kids
way
named
too
Elizabeth.
good.
You know what I mean? Like, so but there's certain ones. But it's gonna be fun to see the mom names change. Like because like our generation. But like, I mean, Kelly's gonna be a mom name, and that makes me want to throw up a little bit. you know, like that.
How
I don't
about
know.
Kathy?
Kathy.
Oh,
Ooh, Kathy was a
Kathy's a
huge
good
missed
one.
opportunity. How nobody at Mom Water didn't say one of these is Kathy.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
And Kathy with a
they're
K.
they're pretty witty though, these Mom Water people. The cans are beautiful.
Yeah,
They
They
are.
make you they want they
hands are
like
beautiful.
they
For
want to
real.
jump right in your cart.
They do.
And the fact that they have no fizz, no like bad aftertaste,
Yep.
like it's almost like you're hydrating yourself with, little alcohol.
And they're pretty high in alcohol.
Right.
Kyle, for the
So
listeners out there, your double entendres aren't lost on me.
Corey, I appreciate it. That's why you're here.
that's what she said.
Now, to me, I think the ultimate Mom Water, if you went sort of the natty daddy route and doubled the alcohol, it feels like you need a Tammy in there.
Ooh.
Like it's the end of the night,
Tammy.
you want to really ramp that party up.
Tammy.
Somebody threw on the classic country mix. The lawn darts are out. All the ladies need a Tammy.
Tammy's
Disgusting.
the Yag bomb of Mom Waters, I feel.
Tammy's like the Midwest Mom Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got my mom Tammy over here.
I think you go state by state. You could have Tammy with a Y, Tammy with an I. A lot of different ways to come at that.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
Aaron? Aaron's got to be a Irish Mom Water.
Well, that would be more so like now as we're getting into like the Gen X moms. Erin is a huge Gen X mom
Sure.
named Jessie. There's a lot of Jessies in the Gen X era.
Yep.
Lisa.
Jessica, Jennifer,
Jessica's a horrible
Lisa.
mom name.
Yeah, those are as we're getting into the Gen X moms. That's but I like the Boomer generation.
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
Boomer.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Corey, final
Yes.
thoughts on Mom Water?
I've
Appropriate for
never
that.
had it. But I'm gonna have to rock the Carol. I think
Yeah, that's fair.
the Carol's a classic. The Carol would probably be like a bathtub mint julep.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We should get a hold of these Mom Water people and
Right.
send them Carol.
You'd
I
have
think
a,
Carol needs to be the next one.
the North Dakota Full Tab Sports 4-pack
Mom Water
of Mom Waters would
nomination.
be Tammy, Carol. What do you got, Kelly?
Ooh, we got to throw Kathy in there. We
Yeah.
have to. Kathy is such a good
Carol,
Midwest
Kathy.
mom name.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And Andrea, what do we got?
Well, I gotta go with Carol. I like that one.
I like Carol too.
Carol.
Maybe I might have to change my Tammy because otherwise we have a nice alliterate. We got a lot of C's in there. C's and K's.
Yeah.
Do we have a Linda yet? Is there a Linda already?
There
already
is
a
a
Linda.
Linda.
I thought that's what you
Linda
said.
exists. Yep.
I thought-
She's
Such
good.
a- such
And
a
it's the
solid mom
best
name.
one.
Yeah.
That's your
Best
favorite?
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go. So I have a couple like more thought-provoking questions for Andrea as we go forward. But to keep the fun times rolling, I watched a video today. It was 100 on 3 and not what Corey was thinking. It was 100 children versus 3 professional Japanese soccer players in a soccer game. Has anybody seen this video?
I'm not.
It's tremendous. Surprisingly, the 3 professionals are able to like maintain the semblance of a soccer game and score some goals. Do you, as a group, think, let's use kids our age, Andrea, you're youngest for the purposes of this question. If we had 100 kids in that age group, and again, I saw the Grand Forks Youth Hockey email today. There's 104 kids at our youngest kids age group. If those 104 kids played 3 NHLers, what would the game be? How would the game look?
Well,
Pick your 3 NHLers.
you want me to pick 3 NHLers?
Or not, or just how would the game go, Andrea? You could, and I encourage people to look that video. If you just Google 100 Japanese kids versus 3 pros or whatnot, you can see the video if you need a visual reference. Corey's been Googling the whole time anyway, so.
Always.
Von Dutch, Paris Hilton, etc.
Okay, but what's the purpose of this? Like,
It was just sort of like a fun, I
a
saw
fun
the
thing?
video. I thought, hey, this is a good hypothetical question for North Dakota After Dark, Minnesota edition.
Well, I have a little background in this, and
Do tell.
when my youngest
She's
Chase
Japanese.
was,
Oh,
I'm not Japanese,
arigato.
however. But you know, when the kids are termites,
Yeah.
and they let all the kids at the end of a practice go out and play against the 5 coaches on the ice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how many kids there are at practice, maybe, I don't know, 25, 50 kids maybe at how many kids do you think are at
I think they capped it at 40 on the ice at one time. If
Okay,
if
40
I remember
kids.
right.
Okay, so you got your 5 coaches and then this sea of kids who all bottleneck right by the net.
Yeah.
And they're falling all over the place. And then you got a few coaches in there who are also falling all over the place. And I've said this from day one that somebody's going to get hurt. It's terrible. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get stepped on. And no shit. When this all happened, Chase was one of the kids who, you know, everybody's falling into everybody. He fell on the ground. The coach fell backward because another kid was coming at him, stepped on the back of Chase's leg, and he got 14 stitches, 2
Oh
layers
my gosh.
And
in the back of his leg, and
No
he still
kidding.
has a huge scar. I'm not kidding. He'll
What-
show you the scar too. But yeah, and so I think, so my mom brain goes to like, what's the purpose of this? Like, what do we want to have all these kids out there for? Like, what for?
I,
My
I'm
type
going
A
to
is
give
like,
myself a
what
2-episode suspension just for asking this question. Is that fair? I'm not going to
No,
outright cancel myself, but
No,
Yeah.
but
Terrible.
here's the difference. If you think about how big a soccer field is and how much space there probably is for those kids to run around, and let's face it, they just have like, you know, cleats. Can cleats really puncture the skin? Really that bad?
well, they are soccer players. So, I mean, if they're brushed, there's a chance you're going to have an ambulance on the field, right?
Oh, that's true. Well, anyway, I think that there's more space in a soccer. Do you think, is there more space in
Oh,
a
yeah.
soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like you put 100 kids in skates with some NHLers, there's not going to be very much space for those NHLers to work.
That is true.
Is
It'd be
there
a little
appropriate-
congested.
Yeah. Okay. So if we had to so like I grew up with metrics, for example, let's convert that. What is an appropriate number? Or should we just move on, Andrea? I feel like I really stepped in it here.
No. I think I got you guys covered here. Okay.
Okay, Corey, I knew you
once
would.
again, you're overthinking this. So I had to write down my answer. Okay. So here
Or-
you go.
Hey, if we need less thinking, we always come to Corey, right?
Yeah. His first and second years in the league, Brady Tkachuk. I want Tom Wilson and Ryan Reeves. That's my 3
Those are your
NHLers
3.
against 100 kids. They're not going to give one shit that these kids are on the ice.
No.
How
Those
old
kids are
are
gonna
these
get their
kids?
asses stomped.
Yeah.
How old are the kids? You never told us that,
I said
Kyle.
12, our youngest. Like
Oh, okay.
11,
So
11, 11 turning 12 are already 12.
Reeves
Yeah,
takes
that's
out
about
10
the
kids
age.
at once and gives the old bicep just straight up.
Well, and I also
How
have
many
to
episodes are
reference
you going to flex for us?
All of them.
All
every
of them.
single one of
No
them.
one's ever going to see the video except for Kelly's
Yeah.
face.
That's not true. I sent 2 sets of video over to Pull Tab this morning. So
And Pull Tab took one look at it and said, "Yeah, we'll take Kelly's face."
We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it to audio with you guys. So no reason.
Corey's
no.
got a face for old time radio.
Yeah, those kids are gonna get stomped. And my reference would be because when we had at the end of the sports season the father-son game, I was seriously like, I think this was just the mom hope in me where I'm like, you know, those boys, they're gonna do really well. They did not do
no,
really
the
well.
dad,
The dads
big W for the dads.
slaughtered those poor children. And I really thought the boys were going to do better than that because I'm like,
Well,
you know, they're a pretty good little group and all,
Yeah.
you know, they really, but no,
You fucked 'em. It was awesome.
Yep, there was a size strength difference there, and those boys, they felt it. So if it was 100 kids, 3 NHLers, they're still barely going to touch the puck.
Yeah.
The kids, not the NHLers.
If I might give a shout out, that was a classic example of 60 minutes of Kelly yelling, and not only at her own husband, but every man that stepped on the ice.
Listen, like I said, and I stand by this. If you guys wanted someone to cheer for you, you should have brought your own mothers. Okay, we birthed those beautiful little angels that were skating around the ice, and so um, I was totally team kids, not team dads.
Yeah,
I
this is
could
gonna
not.
be
I couldn't cheer for you guys. And then when my husband tucked it under the bar on your son,
yeah.
I just about was going to physically assault him. So it a lot of emotions that game.
I thought we'd capture the attention of a couple mom and keep it. You know, my mom's dead, Kelly, so way to make me feel bad. But
my dad's dead, Kyle. So all right, if you want to pull
okay,
that
well,
card, we can do this all day.
let's do a moment of
right?
silence. Corey and Andrea, talk amongst yourselves.
Andrea, do you have any parents who are alive?
You guys,
All of them.
What?
all of the above.
Man, what are you like,
Yeah.
20?
Andrea's
46,
dad is
baby.
a certified beauty.
My dad is 100% Polish,
A
and that's
plus
why Kyle loves him.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I think we've covered sort of the jocular stuff. Now, Corey, you can Google that word. I know you went to UND law, so
I'm gonna die.
sorry. That's why I don't get invited back to speak there. You know what I mean? Like I have myself on the roster. I'm 15 years and counting without an invitation. Andrew, one of the main topics we wanted to talk to you about, obviously, hockey mom. You have 2 children currently in hockey. One had played hockey, has shifted to other sports now. The big thing we wanted to cover on the heels of a couple of recent episodes is your oldest has now gone through the entire Grand Forks youth hockey system, played with Team North Dakota, real good track record playing his youth and high school hockey in North Dakota. Now he's about to move on to junior. We really wanted to pick your brain a little bit about your experiences as a parent, and not necessarily a mom, but as a parent, bringing him up through the system. And now, and again, I'm not trying to start anything here, but now watching him kind of leave the nest to continue playing hockey elsewhere. Again, it's North Dakota After Dark. We're big proponents of playing hockey in North Dakota, or the hockey system in North Dakota. So just wanted to get your thoughts on it. So could you give us about 52 seconds of your initial thoughts before we start really doing a deep dive? Corey usually has prepared questions, so we'll give you the floor for 52 seconds.
Okay.
All things
Well,
Mason.
all things Mason. Well, Mason started, he was the first, right, to go through all of Grand Forks youth hockey and to go through all this. And I had a different perspective then than I do now. But I think Mason is by far, he's a better person and student and brother and son than he is a hockey player. I realize that being a hockey player really is just one thing about Mason. It's not the thing. And I think too, now that he's really having to try out for these teams and, not making some and being asked to come, continue with others, but still having to complete the tryout process. I have to just kind of, what I've decided to do is just let it be. Like if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it happens for Mace, it happens. Otherwise, we move on to plan B.
No, Andrea, I did not give you, we don't have a green room. We don't have any prep sheets. We don't have any show prep. We just kind of show up at 9, or like in Corey's case, 9:03 for the episode.
That's generous.
We really frown upon, Andrea, well thought out and well reasoned answers like that. That was very heartfelt, very impressive, but again, not really welcome on the show.
Okay. Well, whoever checks my kid and hurts him will really piss me off. I think that's like the one thing that you never want. The hardest thing about when kids get older and they start playing a more aggressive and intense game is the checking.
Yes.
And Kelly, you just wait. You just wait till somebody, checks your kid into the boards and you want to swear, like yell, like, you fucker, you can't touch my son.
No,
I
I hate it.
yeah.
I absolutely hate it. I actually just read an article that they were talking about Canada is pushing to up the age for checking. They're really pushing hard because they're just finding the level of concussions that these kids are having, that they truly believe that if they up the age, that it will significantly cut down on the concussions. And see, it was a really interesting article. I was very much in support of it, but mom anxiety just led me to like have a panic attack about my own kids getting concussions. So like I'm not looking forward to it in any capacity. I put my oldest Jet in football just so he can learn how to take a hit because I'm legitimately nervous about checking. I'm not looking forward to it. And I think we can all see emotionally I hold it together so well. I should do so well the first kid that, sends my kid through the boards, probably won't get into an altercation with that kid's mother or anything. That would be unlikely for my personality. So
Kelly, I'm not sure if you recall being up in Warroad for the Might 2 extended season. Do you recall what you yelled at the young man that hit Jet?
No, I don't. I probably blacked it out. Just being a child, what a day.
I was standing beside you. Leave him alone. His mom is crazy.
There you go. That's accurate. I don't there's no shame in the mental health game.
Right.
And that's you do want to steer away from the kids with the crazy moms. They're very well put together, collected moms. Maybe you should hit their kid.
Agreed. And now, Corey, I'm going to pick on you a little bit. You have a son that's a little bit older, sort of in between ages for the gentleman we're talking about. How was the transition for you from non-checking to checking? And maybe not you in particular, but maybe Mrs. Corey.
I think she was more nervous than I was, and I don't say that stereotypically. It was more, my son's played football since he was a fourth grader. And so the hitting part of it, I think he was looking forward to. I think it's always harder when you see the first big one your kid takes because you're afraid, will they get back up? But frankly, the missus, she doesn't yell much until you really get her to pass that threshold. And then it's fun. Then you get to sit back and watch the fireworks. If you do get her to mama bear phase, that's one of those times where I just sit back and go, you better shut up, dude. This lady's crazy.
And then she'll say, and my husband's gonna kick your ass.
Oh, my wife perennially forgets how small I am.
I think the hard part is not like the checking, the good clean checks. It's the crappy cross checks to the neck, the elbows to the head, the ones that really can do some damage. Those are the ones that you lose sleep over.
Right. And you worry about teenage boys because they're not the best decision makers, or seeing, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that because it could have disastrous consequences. They're not good at that. That's a tale as old as time. So that's what I worry about, because, and especially like now that like everything's for the highlight reel with kids because everything is so digital, like they want to do, that's going to look so cool. That's good, and it's like, it's stuff like that the mom and me just gets nervous because I'm like, oh guys, please play clean. You have to compete. It's not tennis. So there's going to be physical contact, but you're just like, you want it to be smart because like I said, I will have a panic attack at the drop of a hat. I can do that. It's one of my many talents. So
Kyle, I found more issues with as the kids get older, the sneaky, not the big ones everyone sees, but the slashes where the armor doesn't protect you and the butt ending
back of the knee.
Yeah, my kids come home with more. Actually, this weekend after hockey, he had repeated slash marks up his arms from just taking slashes.
Right where the pads. Yep.
So, and I'm not. Some of them maybe inadvertent, some not. It tends to be as they get older that the kids get more adept at finding those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just to kind of circle back to the initial topic, Andrea's oldest son's off to a particular Canadian province. Andrea, would you like a lesson on how to properly or improperly pronounce the name of that province? Because Corey can do a real bad improper pronunciation. Would you like to hear it?
Andrea, just tell me you don't care. It's okay.
Well, I kind of a stickler for doing things right. So I would definitely like to hear the proper pronunciation.
Andrea is a rule follower.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's true.
Hey, that's just fine. Like, for example, Andrea was 3 minutes early for the podcast. And Corey, what's your typical deal?
8 minutes late.
On average.
Andrea, I was so impressed when I saw you
Rolling average.
so early.
Well,
That's a
I
professional
gotta be on
guest.
time.
Yeah, I love it. So, which would you like to hear? You
I'd
can
like to hear the
this
professional
sort of
version.
like the showcase showdown. You get to pick from 3 different people. Which pronunciation would you like to hear?
I'd like to
Focus
hear. So you three are gonna say the name, and I get to pick the one I believe is correct.
You get to pick whichever one you'd like to learn from, I guess.
Well, Kyle, you're the Canadian. You better teach
Hey,
us.
come on. We're friends.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Well, you were the Canadian. You were
Watch
the
your mouth.
Canadian.
Kyle, I like her suggested way better. We should each get to pronounce it, and she has to pick the correct one.
Corey,
Yeah.
I like it. Hey, why don't you drop law, drop marketing, just go right to game show host.
All right, I like it.
All
Pronounce
right.
the Canadian provinces. We can do like 1 or 9 seasons of that. How many can we get through?
Oh, I can stretch this thing out and do it the Simpsons level, 30 seasons.
30. Okay. Kelly, why don't you go first?
Well, I've been educated, so I know how to do it correctly. But I'm probably still gonna he's going up to Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Kyle?
Yeah, he's gonna go play in Saskatchewan.
Okay.
See,
Sakrapawan. Sakrapawan.
Oh, now, Andrea, I don't mean to nudge you in a certain direction, but there's gonna be a rumor hit Twitter tomorrow morning that Kelly's the new First Lady of Canada.
That's right. That's right.
She can say that in both official languages now.
I believe she's going to be a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Yeah. Your choice, Andrea.
All right. I think I'm gonna have to go with Kelly's pronunciation.
I
feel like that's correct.
Yep, it's the land of the living skies. And I know that because I saw it on a license plate today, Caribou. So yeah.
So say it again so I know the proper pronunciation.
Saskatchewan.
What? Like
Yeah.
spell Saskatchewan or
no,
Saskatchewan?
The whole middle part isn't supposed to be there.
Saskatchewan.
You're doing too much.
Imagine
you have
to have 4 Lindas and 2 Carols and then just kind of run it all together.
Okay.
And then you will say it correctly. Son's moving to Saskatchewan. My son is.
That's pretty good, Andrea.
Saskatchewan.
There you go.
All right, Andrea. Let's play another game. Since Kyle thinks I'm good at this game show type stuff, Kyle led you in with, he'll give you the floor for 52 seconds. Give me your top 3 other times Kyle has heard that phrase in his life.
I'll give you the floor for 52 seconds.
Yeah, I can get you started. Things Kyle has told his ladies of the night when he's working on his night moves.
Okay. Things Kyle has told his cousins. Let's go for that.
How about
in Saskatchewan?
Things Kyle's wife says to him on his birthday.
Yes.
What do you got for us, Andrea?
I can't come up with anything. I'm a thinker. I need time.
She needs prep time.
I need time. Things Kyle has heard when he says he'll give you 52 seconds on the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Good work, Andrea. Good work.
All right. Thanks. Yeah.
So,
thanks.
To be serious for another second here, your son is off to play junior in Saskatchewan, which is, I believe, is in Canada.
Yeah.
Just as a parent, with your husband Shane, what are you guys' thoughts right now? Are you guys excited about it? Do you have some trepidation? What again, he's the oldest of all the kids in the group here. What just kind of walk us through whatever you might want to share.
Okay, so I feel like it's the next step for me. It's like he's ready to move on. Um, I feel a little nervous if he's going to make it, if he's not going to make it, because we go down there for 3 days, and if he makes it on the third day, they'll let him know. Yeah, otherwise we come home. That makes my blood pressure go up a little bit, makes me a little nervous. But again, I feel like, well, if Mace wants it, he's going to have to skate for it and do it. I also worry about who he's going to live with. He's
That
going
would
to
be a
have,
big one for me. I would be hard if your kid didn't like where they were living. That would. To be fair, most people I've talked to that have went to juniors really loved their billet families, but it'd be hard to live a whole year in a household with people that you maybe aren't that comfortable with.
yeah,
I couldn't
you
have
don't
done
know these people.
it. No.
Have you met
Mason's
my kids?
very
I don't feel
social
comfortable
and
living with them.
what?
I said, have you met my kids? I spent a year with them and I don't feel comfortable living with
I'm
them.
still not comfortable with it. Nobody asked.
I don't know. I think too. It's a good learning experience. He's going to be on his own. It'll be life lessons he's going to learn. Whether it's having to make sure his own laundry is done, and I mean he does that now, but I still bail him out and help him out, and I'm still there to see him pretty much every day. And I think my heart will hurt when he's gone, but I think Mason also will really miss his family and his friends and his normal routine here. But then again, I feel like he's totally ready to start this new life and this new structure of whatever's next.
Yeah. No, as a parent, I guess that's the follow-up thing is, you spend all the time and energy and money for the hockey part. Of course, there's, the life part as well. But like, I understand that's got to be a tough thing, but are you also eager to see how the work you guys have done as parents will pay off, I guess?
I think so. I think everybody, you got to wonder what's your kid going to be like when you're not there,
Yeah.
and you're not around. But I believe in Mason. I think he's great.
Yeah.
And
He is great.
everybody makes mistakes, right? And he will too, and that's fine. But I think, like you said, it's time to let him go and
Yeah.
see what we did. Hopefully we did a good thing.
Right.
Raised him right.
One of the topics we've talked about a number of times on the show, and the episode that just came out yesterday on Apple and Spotify and Pull Tab Sports, episode 4 featuring Matt Moreland, is
treat bags.
No, Andrea,
door signs.
You're ruining my last question.
Door signs.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Andrea is also a noted manager of youth hockey teams, so that's one of the things we wanted to cover.
It's pronounced
one of the things that we
momager.
talked about with Matt is that it's nice now that North Dakota, when Matt was younger, there were a number of options. Not many options were pursued. Matt had a line, something to the effect that it was sort of a USHL or bust for a lot of kids. So now there are a lot of different options for different players, and it's nice. So your son's going to go play in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. Do you have any nervousness or question marks about him going to? Again, it's not far; it's just over the border, but still, it's a different country. And even though it's only say 6 hours away, it's to me as a former Canadian feels very different now. Does that factor into any of your thinking at all versus him going to play a Minot or a Brookings or a Bismarck or something like that?
Well, I never thought about that until just now.
That's why I ask thought-provoking questions. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I am. It does make me a little nervous. Plus, he will be in another country.
Right.
So it does, it does weigh on me now that you say that. But
Is it another country
it's the
or
choice.
is it a territory?
it's a province,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, look
You
at
have to cross an international border to get there.
yeah.
But you know what? It is what it is, right? There is a lot of opportunity now for kids to play.
Yeah.
But it's also very different than, when I was graduating high school, we had like 4 of the kids that I knew from Central play at UND. I mean, or play at other Division 1 schools. That's almost unheard of now. Like that
Right.
just doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah. I just
So
thought, yeah. So many like 21-year-old freshmen, for example, right? And it's the
absolutely.
straight from high school to college for hockey is again not unheard
Like,
of, but I mean it's the exception rather than the rule.
yes. So they're all right around, like I did read an article and that the average age of a freshman hockey player is 21.
Right.
They start,
And,
and then don't they often redshirt at times too?
they do, yeah. So and I think average age 21. I think it's 28 for incoming freshmen at Mankato, if I remember right. So I mean that kind of throws it off a little, but no last pause.
No, I was like,
Pause.
wow,
Pause.
You
28.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Practice in the beer league?
But yeah, so I know Corey's a baseball aficionado. You can tell if you saw the video, he has upside down sunglasses on his head, which is a tell.
As a tell.
Baseball.
Yeah, that it's not happen. So like this hockey experience for kids is unique really to the sport, where that's you finish high school, you go away for 2 or 3 years, to play somewhere else, and then come back to a college, right? So again, it does present a unique set of circumstances. And Andrea said, in her son's case, a kid that's played his whole career, which again is I really applaud the fact that he was able to play from termite all the way through high school in the same town, stay with mom and dad, learn those lessons from mom and dad, and now go on to play junior, right? So as a parent, you'd feel like you had the best chance to prepare them. Not to say kids that leave are any less, but again, it's nice you don't get the time back, and you've made the most of the time hockey wise, which I think is something to be applauded.
Right. And as Mason has gone through all this time playing, and then I had Caleb play for a bit, and now Chase is coming up.
Yeah.
The perspective of having your kids with you and playing hockey, you just realize that hockey's not the only thing.
Right.
It's not the only thing.
Yeah.
And when we first started with Mason, everybody was like, we had a lot of first year parents, and we were all like gung ho, and lots of money spent going here, there, and everywhere, which really, when you look back on it now, doesn't matter.
Right.
It really doesn't matter.
Right. And now you sort of touched on this a little bit. That was sort of one of the other things I wanted to touch on is, your middle son was a former hockey player, has now moved on to other sports. Now, just you could kind of compare, contrast how that has affected you as parents is not the right word, but how have you kind of leaned into the other sports and the other opportunities that are available, and how does that kind of compare to your oldest and youngest sons in terms of the culture and other things you get to do?
Well, I think we're trying to find other things for Caleb to do. He played basketball for a bit, and he actually loved it. He was on the B team, but he really made some good connections with the boys he was playing with, and we all were there to watch him and cheer him on, the same as we would Mason or Chase. And it was really fun. It was fun to be part of something else, to meet new people. Definitely a different culture.
Right.
No, tailgating in the old parking lot before the tip off or whatever the hell you call it.
So you're getting at respectable people. You met respectable people outside of the fishbowl of Grand Forks Youth Hockey. That sounds amazing.
How did you
It's
how did
fun.
you handle that, Andrea? How were you able to like class yourself up to that point where people treated you like you were
I brought a can
dumpster
koozie.
fire?
She wore her glasses, so people knew she was.
I brought a can koozie.
Yeah.
A big purse.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And
They
then,
don't know that Mom Water isn't the fancy brand of sparkling water.
right? Nobody knew. So it worked out quite well. And the level of cheering is a bit different, but it is fun. It's fun to get in with and meet new people and just enjoy something different.
Right.
Like it's okay for Caleb to do something different and try other things. He loves track. And so for him, being part of Red River Track this last year was lots of fun. He made new friends, reconnected with other friends that he hadn't seen. I think one of the great things about youth hockey is that the kids grow up together and they usually have a lot going on the weekends and during the week, so they spend a lot of time together and they build relationships and friendships. When Caleb was done with hockey, his best buddies that continued to play, he didn't really see as much, and those relationships, some of them kind of fizzled because there was no time really.
Sure.
But he is like year round
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that was that was kind of a hard thing, but again, new friendships made and
Yeah.
it's
And
moved
I think
on.
I've had the opportunity to talk to Andrea several times on her deck, and Andrea does, again, not really appropriate for this show, but offers a lot of really good insight and into the different rationales for youth sports. And that's one that you come back to all the time, Andrea, is making new friends and learning new things and setting people up as good adults on the other side of it. And again, that's I think a real good perspective. And typically that's where Corey would go. So, thank you for stealing Corey's thunder for the reasonable side of things. And I guess, Corey, just to, let you speak on this, but I think it's called tip off at baseball. Is there any tailgating before tip off at baseball? How does that go?
You're just trying to twist my teeth here, dude. There's
I
tip
really
off at baseball. Come
Yeah.
on.
No, tip off. What do you call that?
Yeah. Jesus.
One side starts with the ball and kicks it, right? Kick.
Right. They kick it back and forth.
With
Yeah.
a big stick.
Corey, hey, keep in mind I'm an immigrant.
Everybody's familiar with this.
I'm just
This
trying
is
to
why
get
he
in.
only gets the floor for 52 seconds, guys.
Really trying to
This
fit in.
is why.
So, you know what? I would have said on the first episode we would have been long done by now, but now that we're really offer a lot of quality content, we can go for another 10 or 15. Andrea, is that okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, that's a really
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My North Dakota came out.
One of Andrew, you mentioned sort of a different culture in basketball, and you had the opportunity this past year to be a manager for a squirt team. As I understand it, one of the top two managers in Grand Forks. I'm not going to say who the other candidate was.
Yep. I know that other one too pretty well.
Right. As I heard, a really a tremendous guy with great ideas.
Kyle, I'd like to
new
put
to the country, but still was able to overcome many obstacles to become a high level youth hockey manager. So I just wondered if you can kind of discuss some of your the lessons you learned as a manager, some of the other things, some of the advice you would pass along to other perspectives. We get a lot of at least 5 or 6 listeners, and some of whom might be involved as a potential or current manager. So some of the lessons you learned and any wisdom you could impart.
Well, here's the deal. I don't think everybody likes my type of management style.
I do.
I
do. I want to put that out there.
All right.
I support you fully, and I will fight for you. Right.
Thank you. So this momager really would rather just support the kids with good old fashioned advice and
Andrew, do you say good old fashions or good old fashioned something?
Well, the dads are supported with old fashioned.
Okay, sorry, I just didn't hear that well.
Yeah, kids just get good old fashioned, pat on the back. Hey, great job, right? I just don't think it's necessary for us to spend more money on gift bags that rip open and all the shit falls out on the back of my Suburban, and then I got freaking gooey shit smushing in my carpet, and
Preach.
nobody it's a bunch of sugar and shit, and nobody.
Oh my god. I
And
am
there's
the
really no need
gift
for it.
bag hatingest mom that you will find.
I just,
And I feel so bad because again, I'm a self-professed hot mess mom, and I'm okay with that. I've come to that. It's never gonna change. My children are just gonna have to endure it. There are really good moms who like have all their shit together and like they have these meticulously organized, personalized bags. I'm happy for them. But also, my kids are already spoiled brats. Please don't add to that. I just feel like being like, oh, buddy, let's take you on this super expensive weekend with all this super expensive equipment and this super expensive hotel and a gift bag because you're the most special of all the special kids. I don't go for it. Grab a
and your own
Gatorade and
pillow.
a thing of goldfish and be quiet. Like, it's the parents are trying to have fun,
Right. They
right?
need to understand.
That's
Maybe,
what youth
maybe
sports are about.
maybe that's what the deal is. Like we're supposed to give the kids the gift bag to keep them busy while the parents
Maybe.
lollygag. Anyway, I still don't think it's a good idea. I think that we should just,
Mm-mm.
you don't need to give your kid a gift to play hockey. The gift is
Nope.
they get to play hockey. Plus, we're already going out to dinner and we're doing a whole bunch of shit.
Thank
If
you.
we want to do anything, I shared this with the other great manager last year, is I think you just bring a case, like every parent takes turns bringing in after, like some kind of a Gatorade or Body Armor or whatever drink after, like during tournaments, like after every game, because kids are always thirsty when they get off the ice. So I think that's the money best spent.
Given the reputation of this other manager, did you feel nervous calling him or reaching out to him? Did you have any trepidation in actually like
No,
making
I
the
felt
call?
like I felt like he was eager to learn from my mom manager skills.
Sure.
No.
Understood. Now, Corey, hypothetically, if you were a momager in baseball, would you
Sorry,
put the
momager.
kids' gift bag sunglasses in the bag upside down, or do they get to put them upside down when they pull them out of the bag? How does that go?
You got to put them on the outside of the bag upside down.
Right.
Understood.
So they know it's a baseball bag.
Yeah.
Yes, trying to learn as I go in my new country here.
And just so you know, I coached football tonight with the upside down sunglasses, just like this. So
Not a
So it could be a baseball and football thing.
no, it's definitely a baseball thing. The
Okay.
football tends to be more the guys with visor or bucket hats. I'm sorry, bucket hats are a bridge too far for me. We can talk about them on another podcast. The fact that bucket hats are coming back for our kids is scary.
Again, preach. All right. I support this, Corey. Bucket hats need to never come back.
What's a
Never.
bucket hat?
Fishing hats.
Like fishing. They were real popular in the 90s. And I truly believe we peaked as a civilization in the 90s. So I normally, anything like the bucket hats are a no-go. They can stay buried in the 90s. They don't need to come back. And I agree. And our kids wearing them, it makes me angry.
Well, what about a sun hat? Like a sun hat, like when I was on vacation, I wore the whole sun hat. I mean, I can go grab it quick if you want to.
That's
getting
different.
too.
Vacation hats are acceptable hats.
Right.
okay.
That's acceptable.
I will wear a fedora on a vacation. I would never wear one otherwise.
That's vacation hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Fair
to
enough.
be devil's advocate, given the construction of a bucket hat, I feel that Andrea would be able to construct a very, very lucrative gift bag out of a bucket hat.
That's
Oh.
true.
Turn it upside down.
Shit,
Oh.
I could.
That's maybe the only reason they're acceptable would be it serving as a
You
bowl.
could get a drink, 2 door signs.
Yeah,
some
you'd have to roll the
stickers.
door signs up. See, I'm another one of those people who I work 40 hours a week, and then I have a job of being a wife, and then my other full-time job is being a mom to my 3 kids. So I have no time to make door signs. But I will help out in other ways, but I'm not making door signs to put on a door of a hotel that's going to be ripped off or left there. So again, if another mom wants to take over and do it, if they have extra time, great. But to me, that's a non-issue. Nobody needs door signs.
I am
mean-
an advocate of knocking these kids down a peg. I don't think the problem with this generation is that they don't feel special enough. I don't think that's their problem. I think their problem is that they truly feel that the world revolves around them, but I identify as a boomer. Okay, so that's where that comes in. I do. I want a paper menu. Don't give me your QR code.
Oh,
I
I
don't
need a
want to
paper menu.
get that filth away from me. I will print the internet and I will do it if I want to. I identify as a boomer. So I'm like one for like let's bring these kids down a notch. Okay? Let's make them a little thirsty for the attention. So they work a little harder, you know?
Are bucket hats the upside down and backward visor of the fraternity boy from years past?
Or the popped collar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
Corey, how long did it take you to think of that?
I know. I'd love to tell you there's ever thoughts that take a long time to come from my brain to my mouth, but we all know there's not a big threshold there.
Very witty.
Not a huge huge filter system.
No, it's pretty much, ooh, squirrel.
Yeah. That's what I just thought.
One of the questions we'd like to ask all our guests, Andrea, and our producer Amanda reminded me that you are our fourth guest rather than our third. So apologies to our 5 or 6 listeners. What was your opinion of, and did you wear a Von Dutch hat in the late 90s?
All right. You're gonna have to remind me what a Von Dutch hat is.
Uh-oh. Now you offended Kelly. So
This
you
is
offended
like,
me. You offended Kelly. Why don't you say something mean? Corey, say something mean about baseball or upside down sunglasses.
like a Von Dutch hat. Did people really say that in the 90s? Like,
Are
I
you
graduated in
familiar with Paris
1995.
Hilton, Andrea? Paris Hilton? Does that ring any bells?
She wore a Von Dutch hat?
He sure did. And I would know this because I want to tell you guys a story about me. I went to a Paris Hilton party in Menominee, Minnesota, and met her.
Now Andrea's impressed.
Yep. Yep.
I'm impressed
Shooting
that
Star
Paris was
Casino.
in the
Yeah.
Shooting Star Casino.
Yes,
What
I
was she
did.
doing at the Shooting Star Casino?
That's a really great question. She sat in a roped off area and they filled, it was a beach party, and they filled the dance floor with sand, which ruined my shoes, and Pete Wentz was the DJ. And you bought a ticket to attend a party with Paris Hilton, and I was there. Okay, she did not have a Von Dutch hat on at that time, but it was during her Von Dutch era. So
I'm looking this up.
I'm an
Andrea,
expert on it.
if you want to go next door and go through the garage, Shane can get you the code. Go into the house. There are 2 Von Dutch hats in there hanging up.
Just
Wear
look
one
it
to
up.
watch tomorrow.
You'll
Von
remember.
Dutch hat? You mean like a big honking
Trucker
baseball
hat.
hat?
Yeah.
Ashton
trucker hat.
Kutcher was really good for him as well.
Like a trucker hat.
Yes,
Yeah.
when trucker hats were in their heyday, worn by not truckers, such as Ashton Kutcher and Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie.
Okay, I just looked her up. Yeah, I never sported that look.
Yeah.
I don't think
really-
Andrea,
did
I don't think this.
Yeah.
I don't think this really happened, Andrea. I think this was some sort of. I think this was some sort of crazed fever dream that Kelly had once. And she
What are those
fabricated
called?
it.
There's a name for them. Memories, like the clearance house checks.
Oh, the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect,
Yeah.
yes, where we're all convinced something
Yeah,
happened,
it
but it
didn't.
never actually happened.
Well, it
Maybe-
could also be the Fed that's monitoring Kelly's communications has implanted these memories.
Well, you do have someone who's let's
I
just
have
say in
pictures to
the
prove this, guys. I
now
have
she's in
pictures.
this she's in the salvage and container business, and the
That's
feds
right.
may or may not have tapped her phone.
That is true. That's got to be keeping my FBI guy busy in and of itself, you know.
Okay.
And that Kyle gave me the homework to research the but I am telling you, plain girl, which is how I'm starting all of my sentences as well from now on. So
All right.
that's another one.
I'm a little concerned with how much Kyle has fixated on this plain woman. He sends me
No.
random texts all the time about her.
She's the most fascinating person of our time.
Andrea, do you know this lady?
No, I was still like, I never got the full question from you about Von Dutch.
We lost her at Von
Yeah,
Dutch.
sorry, we
lost
don't
her
keep
all the
things-
way
Now I
back.
know what the Von Dutch hat is. Okay, what was the question?
There was no real question. It was really
Okay.
just a stream of consciousness. I hope you'd find something you liked and twigged onto.
Andrew's really trying to grasp onto what's happening.
Okay,
Kyle
so
and
now
I are
tell
just
me
trying really hard to bring it back. So it's
the
we're
plane
just
lady. I
So
don't
if
know anything about the plane lady.
I'm reluctant to say your name. Corey, you type it out because I feel
I
she's
don't
been
know her
unfairly
name,
named.
but this podcast has become the inception of all podcasts. We're going to talk about a random comment within a random comment.
let's do it. It's if we're going to conspiracy theories, I'm all in.
Yes.
I'm all in.
Conspiracy Island.
Yep. I'm here for it.
So okay, two more questions for Andrea. One is we ask Kelly all the time about Mom Island. Can you tell us, just this is an easy one. Tell us your favorite thing about Mom Island at hockey games, which is the group of moms that sit together at hockey games.
Oh, my favorite thing about Mom Island. Well, you never have to sit alone. You can always sit with mom. You always have somebody who shares most often, the moms sitting around us all share the same perspective on the game,
That's true.
right?
A lot of group thought.
Yeah, a lot of group thought. Like if Kelly says, oh, that was a shitty call, we're all like, yeah, it was.
That was shit.
That was shit. Yeah, Mom Island, it's some camaraderie. It's good.
I like it. It's another really reasonable and well thought out answer, Andrea.
And Andrea is one of the moms I was referencing to you who brings a blanket that I usually end up having to sit next to and then just working oh, I'm really chilled. And they're like, do you want to share this blanket? And I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice. It's what I had planned the whole time because I don't have the mental preparation and capacity to get out of the house with my children, their bags, and a blanket. It doesn't exist in me.
Yeah.
And
It took me a long time, but now
so
I leave.
I lean on people like Andrea.
Yep, just leave the damn blanket in your car. It's there summer, fall, winter. It's always in my car. Yep.
I have now purchased for everyone on the podcast today a t-shirt. Andrea has a shirt, Corey has a shirt, a very snug medium, which has made him the very popular gentleman at home.
It's called a schmedium or an extra medium.
So to tease something out, this will be available very soon. You will see in the next, call it 3 to 4 weeks, a Mom Island t-shirt. Now, I want to take a vote. Is it appropriate for the moms to wear Mom Island shirts, or should the dads wear Mom Island shirts with some nice jorts?
Ooh, yeah, that's sexy.
New Balance shoes.
Yep. Yeah, I like dads wearing them. I think it's nice solidarity, I like the dads supporting the moms. And you're not invited to Mom Island because that would totally defeat the purpose, but I do like the support.
Kelly,
Sorry?
I want to tag on to that Kelly statement. Can we do a special North Dakota After Dark short episode from Mom Island?
Ooh. During an actual game would be fantastic because it's hard to recreate the magic.
Or in between periods, however you guys.
Oh, in between periods would be good.
Yeah. So we'll have to turn the broadcast over to our intern, Jamie Spurley, and we'll switch hats and we'll do a North Dakota After Dark live episode
from Mom Island.
So Andrea, are you on board? Is Mom Island a mom shirt or a dad shirt?
I think it could be a dad shirt if it's done well.
Okay, and now would you be comfortable with me buying, say, 20 mediums and we'll just make it work? Yeah. I mean, Corey will look awesome.
Well, awesome. Awesome's a phrase.
Yeah. Some of the dads in mediums.
What I'd like to see the design of this Mom Island shirt before I tell you to get 20 of them.
Before I sign off on it.
I'm going to bring on our special surprise guest right now. TV star, noted lady about town, wearer of glasses, Amanda from North Dakota Nice. Amanda, could you come on screen and tell us a little bit about the design of the Mom Island shirt? Where's your glasses?
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. I don't know what the shirt looks like.
You're working on it, though. I can tell.
Amanda, I have a very special question for you.
Yes. We
All
thought
right.
about
I
Von
want
Dutch
to
hat.
know about. No, no, I want to know about Kyle's 52 seconds on the floor. That's it. That's
Is
it.
what?
I gave Andrea, our neighbor, 52 seconds of the floor to tell us all about North Dakota, her experience with North Dakota hockey.
Yeah. And so
Oh,
now
I get 52 seconds to talk about North Dakota hockey.
No, Andrea had it. Corey's
Oh.
trying to make a joke, which, like a lot of Corey's things in parts, falls flat. This
Corey,
is
you don't deserve this.
you know, I
You're
often
better than
wonder.
this.
I
You're better
often
than
wonder if I deserve Kyle or if God sent me Kyle as a penance for my sins, and somewhere between.
I have a whole list of stories I need to run through Kelly's husband Matt before I can tell a wider audience. So this is another one. But again, we're real happy to have Amanda on. One of the segments I wanted to close with, since Andrea does offer a lot of very well thought out answers. I've had the opportunity to talk with Andrea about this. Where you go? Oh,
Oh no,
I had you on just for the glass.
That was all 52 seconds in
Only
case anyone's
for the
curious.
glasses. Andrea, and now that your son's about to leave for junior, what is one piece of advice, hockey or otherwise, you can offer to your son before he goes? You get to go first.
I think it's always get up and go. Even if you have a bad game, get up and go. Okay, keep going. Don't give up.
I like it. Amanda?
So this is to Mason.
Yeah, if you had to call Andrea to give her a piece of advice to give to Mason. So this is like a game of telephone, but you have to tell Andrea this
Okay,
advice.
well,
first.
I've given Mason this advice.
No, give it right to Andrea.
Which is that stay away from hockey moms.
Yes, you did. You have.
That is a good one. We've all seen Miss McGill from Youngblood. We know what happens.
Good reference. Kelly?
I'm gonna quote one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of our time, Mean Girls, and that is, if you have sex, you will get chlamydia and die. And I just want him to go in with that attitude, so that he's afraid to make, wrong choices. So that would be what I would lead with. The other thing would be just keep being the amazingly awesome kid that you are. Mason is pretty magnetic, and he will just succeed. But stick with you will get chlamydia and die. It's it's a good lesson.
It is. It's a good piece.
I'm going to go to Corey, but just, much like The Onion or the Babylon Bee, satire has become reality. And in Estevan, Saskatchewan, Kelly's advice is not tongue-in-cheek. Also, you'll get chlamydia from tongue-in-cheek, but 100% Kelly's advice is for real in Estevan.
I won't steer you wrong. You know what? It's like I said, if you haven't, make him watch Mean Girls. Okay, it's an important film that everyone should see.
Yeah. Corey, advice to Andrea for Mason.
Not everyone can be as loquacious as Kelly is. So I'm gonna just go with the 2-word Irian motto. Maybe you've heard it before, maybe you haven't, but if you ask an Irian, that's right. Don't suck.
Don't suck.
Don't suck. I like it.
Corey, I had to give myself that advice. I went to a tough meeting last week, and I was like, trying to put a good mantra in my mind, and in my head was, "Don't suck."
Don't suck. Just don't suck.
This podcast is not North Dakota work advice, Amanda.
Yeah.
There's no wrong time for Irian advice.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear it's catching on.
Wonderful. My advice to Andrea for Mason is keep in mind that a girlfriend is a career-ending injury. Much like Corey tells his, I think, baseball players, all 11 of them, play the field.
That's right.
Play the field. But don't get chlamydia and don't.
But don't actually, because you will get chlamydia and die. I mean, it's
fun fact. Mason has actually gone on a few dates with the Kosher's nanny.
Oh my gosh!
We've discussed the hot nanny on here. We've discussed the hot nanny, and I love.
And she came to the lake and hung out at the campfire with all of us.
And I said, that hot nanny has the audacity to be the sweetest girl. I mean, I love her. I was not set up to love her, but I freaking do.
Yeah, she's great. She's easy to like and funny, and she just fit right in. Like she'd
A
always
plus
been there.
all around.
Well, our 8-year-old is convinced that they're going to get married and that she and Andrea are going to be best friends. They are best friends.
Yeah, our best friends. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so this is just prophecy happening in real time.
Yeah.
Yes.
They could both do a lot worse than each other. I tell you what, like that's two very good children coming together.
I agree. They are both wonderful. So that's a good pair.
Corey, I think next episode, I think you and I should go to Sinbin. If you're
Agreed.
listening, and you should probably sponsor us. You could bring your wife on. These guys could do the Real Housewives, south of 40th, we'll call it. And just
Oh, I like it.
yeah.
He just came in for a brief moment, took a look at me, and she said, "Would you like another drink?" I said, "Yes, please." So I could have pulled her in.
Speaking of nice ladies, that's well
God,
done.
if out there in podcast land, there is a problem that I have when I go anywhere without my spouse, who's just come back in the room, so she can come on and briefly say hi. And she said, "No," but everywhere I go, people always say one thing to me: "Oh, where's Jess?" Everywhere Jess goes without me, they say, "Hi, Jess."
Don't read into that,
Sorry.
Corey, okay? Don't read into that.
We're always happy to see you, Corey.
Hooray!
Hey, there's your hot wife. Everybody, another certified MILF. Okay, there's 3 on here, because this is coming in audio. I wouldn't lie. I'm another woman. 3 certified MILFs.
Who's the non-MILF out of this group?
Well, it's me, but that's okay.
Corey.
Just so you know, Kyle, it's not a baseball reference, but it's football. It's called outkicking your coverage.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Bottom of the 9th inning, right? If things are not going well, you can outkick your coverage and end the game, right?
Oh, God, Kyle. You're killing me
The
today.
real shit of it, Corey. Is it Kyle loves
Expert.
football?
Mhm.
He goes to sleep at night, writes in his little scorebook the games of the day, says things like, "Oh, I sure hope Detroit wins the World Series this year."
I've got $5 to win the World Series. So, if I win $42, I'm going to promptly retire from everything, including this podcast.
I brought Kyle to one
Don't
baseball
you
game
dare.
once. Yeah, Kyle and I went to a baseball game. They hit a home run. Kyle stood up and screamed touchdown. I vowed to never bring him to another game.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
I have a question for Jess.
Yes, sir.
I sent you a tremendous sale on flannel.
Oh, goodness.
Did
You
you
did.
capitalize
I
on
was
that
out
sale?
of town, so I was unable to go to that store that you mentioned.
That's okay. No problem.
Corey, you're still wearing the old.
Jess has very strict rules around what Corey, co-host
I
Corey, can wear,
remember.
and she has a very narrow vision of what kind of flannel is appropriate for Corey.
But Corey, you keep rocking the same, like, is it a brown flannel?
No,
Or orange?
I
Yellow.
own one flannel. It is a gray and white flannel that reminds
Yes.
me of Tony Bina, and therefore I will.
I remember now. Yep, Jess and I were on the hunt last year trying to find you a new flannel, but nothing seemed to fit your
They don't
personality.
make flannel in extra medium. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen.
Medium.
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 Sizes are just not abounding in the flannal.
I
Well,
think
all you need is one.
yeah, I think medium's gonna take off.
Jess, I'd like to also give you the opportunity. We were trying to close the podcast with advice for Andrea to give to her eldest son as he departs for junior hockey. It can be hockey or life related, and we'd be eager to hear what you have to tell Andrea. To put you on the spot.
Advice for Andrea or advice
Well,
for
it's for Mason, but it has to go through the filter of Andrea because she's very reasonable and well spoken.
I would say always remember to call your mom.
Oh, well done.
Oh, that's the best
Perfect advice.
one.
This is why I'm better than Corey.
Yes.
It's just
Yes.
awful. God.
Yep.
That was good, Jess.
Nailed
That
it.
was good.
Yeah.
Ah, the
well,
standards
listen-
I cannot live up to.
But you should.
You should.
You should.
Good.
When in doubt, call your mom.
Call your mom.
Always.
And if your mom doesn't answer the phone, you should call Andrews Construction.
No.
Andrews Construction is available for residential. They're available for commercial. They do design build. They do fantastic work. I had the opportunity to tour one of their recent projects at the Icon Arena in Grand Forks. Lovely work for all your residential and commercial needs. Andrews Construction, that's ENDRES. Amanda, spell construction because I can't.
I think you have a little accent when you say Andries.
Yeah,
That's your opinion.
Andries Construction.
Okay, now everybody gets to. Okay, we all had an opportunity to say Saskatchewan earlier. Now everyone gets to say Andries. Kelly,
But that's not how you said it.
Andrews Construction.
nice. Amanda,
Andrews Construction.
Jess,
Andrews Construction.
Corey,
Andrews Construction.
That's a good one.
Andries. It's
Andrea, bring it
Andries.
home.
You have to put an emphasis on the first part of the word.
Vowel.
It's the French Canadian and Kyle. He wants to go Andres
Andres.
Construction. He
Yes.
wants to so bad.
It's
just-
Andries.
It's in him. But
You
It's
can
Andrews.
take the Canadian out of Kyle, but you can't take the Canadian out of Kyle.
Well, to
Yeah.
bring it back
Cannot.
to Corey, my favorite Montreal Expos quarterback of all time was Andres Galarraga. So I think that's where it comes from.
right.
Yeah, that's exactly how it sounded.
Thanks.
Andres
In
Construction.
any event, go to
Andres.
Google ENDRES. Do not look up that Emmer effer on the plane lady isn't real. Look
But
up
I am
Andrews
telling
Construction.
you.
I found her.
Kelly, come on. Please do the two fingers for me because you know how she did it.
that
Motherfucker isn't
that
real.
motherfucker back there is not real. Okay, and that's my new quote for everything. Any question I am asked, that's what I'm answering. And
The look on Jess's face and Andrea's face suggests we should cut this off so they can spend another 45 minutes Googling this entire episode.
look it up.
I got her pulled up.
Yep, it'll change your life.
Change your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lizard people are here.
That's true.
Andrew,
That's
this
true.
is
People
minutes
don't
you're
come
never
to
gonna
this
get back.
podcast for Tiffany Gomez, Kyle's 52 seconds on the floor, Von Dutch hats, and different devices that are used to pronunciate the rear posterior. I don't know what you come here for.
Yeah. And two special guests.
Yeah.
Three special guests.
Yeah, once again, who's the special guest?
Andrea was an announced guest. Two surprise guests, we'll say.
Um,
Well, thank you, listeners. Thank you,
Milfs.
Andrea. And
Thank you, Milfs.
thank you,
the
Milf.
MILFs, yeah. See, and I
Corey.
wasn't including myself in the MILFs because that's a real tacky move to be like, to call yourself a MILF. But I can certify you guys as MILFs, okay? And I have my degree.
Milfy move would say you are a Milf.
Ooh, I don't know. It's a little full of yourself. So, but I can certify you guys. I've taken the course. So,
You know, Kyle, if they've made it to the end of this podcast, our next t-shirt after Mom Island will be certified MILF.
certified MILF. Or
Certified Milf
I've
inspector.
taken the course.
Yeah.
I've taken the course.
DTF
Certified.
down to froyo. All right, that's another one of my favorites because that's obviously what that means. I'm always DTF. I'm always down to froyo.
I have a shirt that says DTF that says Downtown Forks.
Ooh, another
That was
DTF.
fun.
Always DTF.
Do you think you can make it through 7 days of DTF t-shirts, Kyle?
Easy.
Closer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great. I'm not.
Kyle, I'll
yes.
email you a sketch of the Mom Island t-shirts later tonight.
Just a rough sketch.
After you're done Googling the lizard people.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of
I'm sorry
research.
we invited you on this podcast. Jess was just a nice person going about her day.
Yeah.
Now,
Deep
Down the
cuts,
rabbit
Kyle.
hole.
Deep cuts from episode 6, man.
It's episode 8.
This is 8. That was 6.
How long does this podcast go?
Well,
Forever.
we
Yeah.
might be on a 24-hour cycle right now. We started at a hot 38 minutes, which is like my first date, and now we're at 98, which is like year 17 of marriage. So
As soon as Kyle
Kyle,
was
you're
out
on
from
you're on
work,
vacation, aren't you?
he's done.
I'm never on vacation.
But I mean,
Yes,
that's
technically.
where are you guys at?
On vacation. We're at the lake.
Oh, so
My
fun.
parents. and my
I
sister.
want to go back to the lake.
There's lots of room.
Drive on down.
I'll drop you a
I'll be
pin.
there. Well, I have a girls' golf tournament that I'm participating in on Thursday, but I have to go tomorrow to start practicing and, getting, ready for the whole women's golf experience.
Well, sure.
I bet you there may be some Von Dutch hats present.
Could be. Maybe a Juicy Couture tracksuit, if you're lucky.
Absolutely.
Corey, there are UGG men's sweatsuits available at the same place where you can get flannel shirts. So maybe you should show up at work tomorrow in an UGG sweatsuit. Got Jess's attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose to invoke the 5th one.
Medium.
Oh, they probably do make it inch medium.
100%.
Kyle,
Okay.
put the bumper music.
Yeah. That's why producer Amanda is here. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We'll probably have to edit this down to a reasonable
amount of time.
Yeah.
Kyle's gonna just edit me right out of the podcast. Just he's gone. That saves us at least.
Maybe we should edit
25
Kyle out of the
minutes.
podcast. It'll be 15 minutes.
Top 3 parts of this podcast. Okay. Thank you to everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. Andrea, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the jokes. Jess, thank you for being a good sport and coming on. Andrea, thank you for all your insights into your hockey journey. And Amanda, thank you for coming on and putting your elbow in my back.
Welcome.
Wonderful. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Good night,
Stay
guys.
cool.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.